Apostle shares part of my testimony quite often with a lot of you here. You've heard it, but I'm just going to give you a little bit of history of kind of where it started from. I was just like most of you here that was raised up in the church. At about the age of, I think I can say maybe about 5 or 6, I noticed that I was different. I didn't quite understand it because I was really young. So I just continued on, with life. As I got a little older, where all of my friends were talking about boys, that wasn't, the thoughts that were on my mind. At the age of 12, I remember the church that I went to, the pastor was preaching, and all of a sudden this feeling just came over me. And I didn't quite understand what it was because I was young, but I know it was like a burning inside of me. And I began to just cry, and I was just lifting my hands and praising God. And when they did the altar call, I was one of the persons that they called up. One of the pastors in the church came to me and told me to lift my hands. She began to anoint my hands with oil and speak words to me that God had chosen me to heal. Amen. That I would preach someday, that I would have a testimony that would just change things. And at 12, I didn't understand that. So my life continued on, and I can say around about high school time, I met a friend that was like really close to me. We became best friends. We did everything together. But there was still something about me that I just couldn't share with her because of the names that, they would call people like myself. I know you guys know what I'm talking about. I know there's children here, so I won't, say those things. But I got up the courage at the age of 18 to tell my friend my secret that I had been holding. And when I revealed this secret to her, the same person that we did everything and I thought she loved me and would understand me, was the first person to reject me. Our friendship at that time came to an end because, one, she didn't understand, and two, she kind of felt like, this is something that you should have talked to me about because, like, we slept in the same room, and I'm like, that wasn't even my thought process. So as time went on, I started visiting churches. And everywhere I would go, people would tell you, God said, come as you are. And the minute you get in the door, it's like everything that they're saying, I'm hearing different stuff. So about maybe 4 years ago, not even, maybe 3 years ago, the Lord just started pulling on me. So I kept saying, I need to find me a church home, a place where I can worship God, because I was tired of just worshiping at home and reading my Bible, because a lot of stuff I just didn't understand. The first church that I went to, I liked the service, so I joined the church. Same words were spoken over me again by pastor at that church. So after service, they say, come in the back and fill out the card, and if you want to do any type of ministry, just let us know, and we'll set up the appointments where you could come for the trainings. So I marked down greeter and a couple of other things because I like to smile. I'm a very friendly person. So I was told that I would get a phone call, for someone to contact me so that they would do the trainings. The following Sunday, I came to church with a friend of mine. And we sat and we enjoyed the service. So I went after service to ask, well, you know, is somebody gonna get in contact with me? And they were like, yeah, they're gonna call you, you know, maybe by Tuesday. Tuesday came, no phone call. Wednesday came, no phone call. So then they had a service that Friday night and I asked again, and then I'm getting pushed all over. So then I realized, okay, maybe it's because of who I am, I'm not allowed to do ministry here. So I left that particular location, kept saying, I'm just done with church, I'm not going anymore, because, you know, everybody's saying one thing, but something in me feels different. I go to another church a friend invites me to, and she's like, no, my church is open, you can just be yourself, you don't even have to dress up. So I said, okay. Same thing happened. This pastor speaks over my life of what I was called to do. And then after my friend walked off, we were standing to the side and he was just talking to me saying, I know you heard these things before. And he said, don't worry. They have makeup to cover up those tattoos that are on your body. And I walked out of that place feeling just lost, because I'm like, what just happened here? As time came on, I met someone and I came to genuine love. Amen. The same thing happened to me again, but this time when Apostle spoke to me, he said God was going to use me, but I didn't have to change anything about myself. He was going to use me just the way I was. Within that same year, that same friend that turned her back on me began to look for me. I didn't even know. She found my oldest daughter at Wendy's. And she said, I've been looking for your mom for a long time. And my daughter gave her my number. She called me and we reunited, and I didn't understand, you know, why the separation and why now she's in my life. I noticed some different things about her, but I didn't pay any too much attention. Earlier this year, I got a phone call from the hospital saying that I needed you to get everyone to the hospital. You know, we can't talk about everything over the phone, but we just need everybody here. And I didn't understand how did they get my number of everybody's number, but I went. When I got there, and when I saw her, I didn't even recognize who she was. She was less than 70 pounds. She had already went in a state of dementia. She hadn't eaten in 2 weeks. And I couldn't understand. So I'm like, well, what's wrong? Like, this is my friend. I don't know what's going on. I went home that night. It was February 13th. It was the 14th. I went back to the hospital. And as I slept, I dreamed. God revealed to me in the dream what was wrong with my friend. I woke up the next morning and I didn't have time to really call anybody. I didn't have time to call the apostle because of the messages that he had been preaching. I realized that I have the power within me through Jesus. So I went to the hospital and I prayed for my friend. I laid hands on her. And about 2 days later, I get a phone call and she said, Heather, I'm going home. So I stand here before you to say that that word was spoken to me at the age of 12. And if it wasn't for genuine love, I wouldn't have known that I could activate those gifts inside of me, even being different. So if everyone here, or if you know someone that's going through the same thing, know that there's nothing wrong with you. God created you the same way he created everyone else. And he loves you the same way he loves everyone else. Apostle says it all the time that that God sees us in the spirit. If he was to come here and stand next to me, because this body I'm in is just my flesh. If you was to remove my flesh and remove his flesh, you wouldn't know whether he was apostle or who I was, because God sees us in the spirit. Spirits don't have genders. So I just want to say be encouraged, and thank you so much.